Good morning, Year 3. Welcome back. How did you get on yesterday? Are you getting more and more confident now? I'm sure you are. Right, let's start to go through some of the answers then. So the first question was quite good for the skip counting practice, wasn't it? So number 1, 18 divided by 2. Did you do your skip counting? Yeah, good. Then you should have worked out that there would be 9 lots of 2 in 18. So number 1 was 9. So for number 2, you needed to work out what the sums or the calculations were first. So 3 8s are 24, the repeated addition of the 4, 5 4s are 20. So you would know that 24 is greater than 20. Then number 2, 32 divided by 8 is 4, 24 divided by 4 is 6. So you know 4 is less than 6. And then number 3, 36 divided by 3 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. So we know that 12 is less than 18. Well done if you got those ones right. So for number 3, you needed to work out that there were equal groups. And in each of the circles, there was the value of 8. There's 8. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 pencils and 8 squares. So there are how many groups? There are 4 equal groups of 8. Oh, my board's wobbling. Okay. So question 4. Nia says that 16 divided by 4 is equal to 4 times 4. Now straight away, I bet lots of you recognise that that isn't correct, that Nia is wrong, because you know that 16 divided by 4 is 4, whereas 4 times 4 is 16. So that would mean she's saying that 4 is equal to 16. And we know that's not the case. So well done if you spotted that straight away. So with question 5, you were trying to share or group the contents of the box. And there were 40 items in that box. You had to try and find 3 different ways. So perhaps you did in groups of 10. Perhaps you did in groups of 8, in groups of 5, in groups of 4. You may have done it in 2 groups of 20. Well done, and I hope you found 3 different ways. So question 6 was saying that there were 65 biscuits in a box and you had to group them into 5s. Now I've used 65 concrete pieces of equipment there, group them into 5s, and it's 13. Now you could use your times tables knowledge to help you here. You know that 10 5s are 50, 11 5s are 55, 12 5s are 60. So another 5 would make it 65. So that would be 13 groups of 5. Well done guys, you've done really well. Let's move on with today's learning. So today's Challenge Friday is a really good one. Now I found some little matchsticks I think in the science cupboard. So you could use these. If not, you could just make yourself some little strips of paper, or if you've got a whiteboard, you can just draw this challenge and just do it onto the board. So you can just put your 20 sticks and so on onto the board and then use them and rub them out as you go. So there are different ways of doing this challenge, but I think you'll really enjoy it. So for the first question, you need 20 strips of paper. You can use pencils. You can use any equipment that you've got that's just going to give you a straight side, because you're going to make squares out of the 20 strips of paper and work out how many squares you can make with the 20 strips or the 20 pencils or little sticks or toothpicks, whatever you've got. Then you're going to do some pentagons. Now pentagons are 5-sided shapes, just like that one there. So how many of those can you make? Then you're going to try a different challenge. You're going to need 36 strips of paper or pencils or little sticks. And you're going to see how many triangles that you can make. So triangles have 3 sides, like this one here. And then you're going to try the same task but with hexagons. So how many 6-sided hexagons can you make with 36 pencils? So have a go at those. The best way is to draw them, to actually make them or draw them. So concrete or pictorial is going to really help you. And then try and write the division sentence and multiplication sentence that will go with it. And then there's a further challenge there. So pause the video, have a go, see how you get on, and I'll see you back in just a moment. So here are the squares that I made. I had 20 strips or little sticks and I made them into 4-sided shapes. So I got 5. Why did I get 5? Well, let's look at the maths. We have 20 to start with, didn't we? That was our total. And we put them into groups of 4. And we know that 20 divided by 4 equals 5. And I can check that back by doing the inverse of 5 multiplied by 4. 5 fours are 20. Let's try the pentagons. And here are my pentagons. How many pentagons did you make? 4, I hope. So pentagons are 5-sided shapes. And these are as close to regular pentagons as I can make without sticking them down properly. So let's look at the maths behind it. We started again with 20. So that was our total. And we divided it this time into groups of 5. So how many 5s are there in 20? There are 4 groups of 5 in 20. Now the next challenge, you had 36 pencils or little sticks, whatever it was that you were using, and you were making 3-sided shapes. So these are as close to equilateral triangles as you can get. So we have 36, and this time we put them into groups of 3. So 36 divided by 3, and how many groups of 3 did we get? Yeah, we got 12. Good. And again, we can check that back by using our multiplication knowledge, because we know that 12 lots of 3 is 36. Okay, this time I made hexagons. Now hexagons are 6-sided shapes. And if you had 36, could you use your skip counting to help you? How many hexagons should I have underneath? Ta-da! You're right. There would be 6 hexagons, wouldn't there? Because 6 multiplied by 6 is 36. Or 36 divided or shared into groups of 6 equals 6. And these are as close to regular hexagons as I can get, because each of the sticks should be exactly the same size for a regular hexagon, and some of them are really good examples of regular hexagons. I hope you've really enjoyed this. I hope you've had a really good challenge. I hope you've enjoyed doing the task, the Friday challenge. There is a further challenge down the bottom. If you had 16 strips of paper or pencils or sticks, can you make a combination of shapes so that every piece of paper or every pencil or every stick is used? How many different shapes can you make with those 16? You could then try a further challenge. Maybe you could try 40. See how you get on. Explore making different shapes. You can even do a little bit of further work of shapes. See if you can do some research of finding different shapes. Good luck, guys. You've had a great week this week. I've really enjoyed working with you on division, and I'll see you next week.